What's going on, boys? Today we are going to be going over all of the College Football 25 pre-order Ultimate Team content to try to help you guys select who you want on your team. This is everything you guys can expect for the pre-order for College Football 25. There's one thing not here that you had to pre-order before June 20 something, but we're going to go over that first. This is the first option of the Heisman hopefuls. There is 5 players that you're going to be able to choose from. Here's the first one, Carson Beck. He only has 74 speed, but otherwise he looks like a solid quarterback to start. The only thing that I have a question about is there might be better quarterbacks off the rip than this Carson Beck. We're gonna have to see. There's even another quarterback later down the line in a different pack that I think is gonna be better than him. The next card is gonna be Caleb Downs, a free safety for Ohio State. He's one of the fastest cards that we've been shown so far in College Football Ultimate Team. I think he's going to be one of, if not the best option in this pack. He's also 6 foot, so he's not short. He's just not very tall. Solid in man and zone, good hit power, good tackling. I think he's a really solid option. Next up is Zachariah Branch. Solid looking card, decent speed, decent route running. Only thing is he is 5'10", so he's not very tall, but he is a solid option if you do need a receiver. One thing I do need to mention is make sure that you spend your pre-order points before you choose any of these players, because you might pull a player from spending those points that will be a starter right away, and maybe you won't need a Caleb Downs because you pull a different player that's also a receiver. The fourth of 5 cards is going to be Will Johnson, a corner from Michigan. He looks very solid overall. He's 6'2", he's 83 speed, solid man coverage and zone coverage, decent press. I don't think you can go wrong selecting Will Johnson, to be honest. There's a couple of these players that are very good. This guy is definitely one of the people that you should keep an eye on. And the last card is Ashton Gillette. One of these cards that probably won't be replaced for a while. He has solid speed, solid everything, over 80 plus in every stat. So if you want to pick a player that will probably last on your team the longest, Ashton Gillette will probably be that guy. I do think the player that I am going to end up going with, though, is this Caleb Downs. He's too fast. He's too good overall to not select. Obviously, if I pull someone that is also a free safety that is better than him, I probably won't end up choosing him, but that is why you got to spend your points before you do all this, so you don't accidentally waste a choice and you have to pick someone else. The next cards we are jumping into is the cover athletes, so Travis Hunter, Donovan Edwards, and Quinn Ewers. This card looks okay. He's not very fast. Obviously, it is Travis Hunter, so maybe you're going to want to pick him just because he's one of the most known college athletes in the world right now. But his route running's not great. His catching isn't amazing, but for an 81, he looks all right. I don't think I would probably choose him out of this pack, though. Next up is going to be Quinn Ewers. He looks very similar to Carson Beck, in my opinion, just with way lower throw power. He's the same speed. Accuracies look all right. Throw on the run's not very high, but I probably wouldn't choose Quinn Ewers out of this. There's going to be so many solid quarterbacks that are going to be way better than him, in my opinion. And his throw power is just a little low, because the one thing is this year, throw power, like velocity on the ball, it's completely determined based on your throw power rating. So having 78 throw power compared to like 84 is probably a pretty big range. And then the last of these 3 cards, what I think probably is the best overall card, is going to be Donovan Edwards. 82 speed, 81 excel. Not amazing, but it's solid enough to get you through, especially if you're no money spent. This dude is definitely going to be a solid option. Decent carrying, decent agility, very high catching compared to another running back we're going to be shown later. Also 80 break tackle. I personally think this is who I'm going to go with. I think he looks the best of the 3, and I think he'll last on my team the longest. The next cards we are going to be jumping into is the Ultimate Alumni cards. This is going to be a choice 1 of 10 players, so this choice is going to be a little bit harder. But the first card here is going to be Brock Bowers. Looks very solid overall. 81 speed, good run block, good route running. He's a very tall player. I believe he's like 6'4 or 6'5, so I don't think you can really go wrong with a player like this. It's just, is tight end really the most valuable position to choose out of this pack? I don't know. There's some very good choices that we're about to go over. The next player is going to be this Blake Corum. As you can see, compared to Donovan Edwards, same team, same everything pretty much. His catching is just really low. He's not as fast. Otherwise, he looks okay, but I definitely think if you select Donovan Edwards, there's no point to choose this card. Donovan Edwards just looks like he clears in every way possible compared to Blake Corum. The third player is going to be Cooper DeJean. He's coming in at 80 speed with decent man and zone. His man is a little bit low. His press is also a little bit low, but he's 6 foot, so he's not short at all. He's not fast. He's not like excelling in zone or man in any way. So I think he's more towards the low end of these cards, but he definitely is a solid option if you're a big Iowa fan or even an Eagles fan and you want to pick him up for your team. Next up is what I think is the best of the 3 pre-order quarterbacks. I think I might end up selecting him, Mike Michael Penix Jr. He has 76 speed, which is the fastest out of all three. Good throw power, good accuracies, good under pressure. Everything is balanced. The only thing is he is a lefty. We don't know if that's going to matter as much in college football as it does in Madden. In Madden, there's some bugs and stuff with lefties. But overall, I think I might end up selecting Michael Penix. It depends what I get from spending my pre-order points, obviously. But I think Penix does look like a very, very solid option at quarterback. And I would not even bat an eye if one of you guys selected him and said he was a beast. Next up is Jared Verse, one of, I think, the lower tier players in these 10. He's not very fast. He's solid at pass rushing, but compared to Gillette, he's not even remotely close to how good he is. I think he would probably be washed out of your team a little bit faster. He's just not a great option, and compared to the other people in this pack, I just don't think he's really worth selecting. Now, next up is the guy that I might end up taking over Michael Penix. It is Adonai Mitchell, 83 speed, high jumping. He's 6'2" with 86 jumping. That could actually be really, really big. He might be able to outjump everybody and get his hands on the ball. His catching is good. His route running is okay compared to the other receivers we've seen. He's the first 6'2" receiver that we've seen that's actually pretty fast. So I think this is going to be most people's most popular selection, and I would not blame him at all. This looks like an amazing card. The next two players we're going to go over are both offensive linemen. This card does not look as good as, I believe it's James Morgan, the next card that we're going to show, but you can't really go wrong with an offensive lineman. They last in your lineup a long time. They're probably going to last longer than a defensive lineman. Or if you're going with Jordan Morgan, sorry, not James Morgan, you're going to want to just try to have them in your lineup as long as you possibly can. I definitely think Morgan is better than JC Latham, who we just talked about. He's way more balanced overall. I don't know if I would necessarily go with a lineman. It depends on what you need on your team. Next up is Peyton Wilson, coming in at 77 speed, low strength, high zone coverage though, high tackling, high hit power. Block shed is decent. He's 6'4", so if you do want to use him, he's not a bad option. The only thing is he is very slow. I think there's going to be better value, cheap middle linebackers or even safeties that you could use as a user that would be way better than this option that are maybe just as tall and way faster than he is. Up next is going to be Quinn Mitchell, 82 speed, very balanced overall, good man, good zone, good press. Every stat's above 80 except for zone coverage. I think this is definitely one of the options you need to keep an eye on. He's 6 foot tall, so he's not super tall, but he's not short, so that's very important. But I really think this is one of the three best players between him, Adonai Mitchell, and Michael Penix Jr. I think these are the best three in the pack. I definitely would choose one of them, but obviously make your choices based on what you need after you spend your pre-order points. The last thing that we are waiting on EA to reveal is the 1 of 134 Alma Mater Ultimate Team pack, which is all the way on the right side, all the way over there. Hopefully we find out between the next 2 days who those players are going to be. Maybe they'll just be simple base players at 80, or they'll just be core players. We don't know, but we're a couple days out from college football. If you guys are hyped like I am, make sure to leave a like on this video and comment down below who you think you're going to choose from all these packs, and make sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up with more college football Ultimate Team content. We're going to be posting as much as we possibly can over this next week, and I appreciate all you guys for watching. Take care. Peace out.